जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। तेरे कर्म कहानी तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। कहा तुझे करे प्राणी तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। तेरे कर्म कहानी तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। कितने ही पग तूने पाप कमाया तू, कितने ही जब लोके बेर छुपाया तू। कितने ही पग तूने पाप कमाया तू, कितने ही जब लोके बेर छुपाया तू। तूने बोया क्या का प्राणी, प्राणी रे, प्राणी रे। जो है बीते क्या सुनानी, तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। तेरे कर्म कहानी तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। कहा छूटेगा रे प्राणी तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी। तेरे कर्म कहानी तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। प्रभु के द्वारे तेरा आना ही बहुत है, प्रभु के द्वारे तेरा आना ही बहुत है। बोल के न बोल पछताना ही बहुत है, प्रभु के द्वारे तेरा आना ही बहुत है। बोल के न बोल पछताना ही बहुत है। जो है बीते क्या सुनानी, प्राणी रे, प्राणी रे। जो है बीते क्या सुनानी, तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। तेरे कर्म कहानी तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। कैसे कैसे पग तू महान बन जग में, कैसे कैसे अभी कुलवान बन जग में। कौन हे रानी रानी महारानी राधिका, ओए अब रानी राधिका रानी, रानी रानी महारानी राधिका, ओए अब रानी राधिका रानी, तुम गोकुल के महारानी राधिका रानी, तुम गोकुल के महारानी राधिका रानी, हे रानी रानी महारानी राधिका, अब रानी राधिका रानी, तुम गोकुल के महारानी राधिका रानी, तुम गोकुल के महारानी राधिका रानी।
ओ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय भयहारिणी भवतारिणी भावभामिनी जय जय। अकल कराधारी माँ हो अधिकारी अधारी अकल कलाधारी करटा भरता हर संहाकारी जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय हरिणी भवतारिणी भाव भामिनी जय जय जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय हरिणी भवतारिणी हरिणी भवतारिणी भाव भामिनी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय माँ जग जननी जय जय। Sound 1 2. बोले श्रीमापति महादेव की जय शंकर भगवान की जय। Shubh Swagatam and welcome to this evening's Sandhya. As you join once more again with this most wonderful family in the 6th evening of devotion. This evening, as we worship Bhagavati Mata, performing our puja, oblations and offerings, preparing ourselves for a beautiful katha taken from the golden pages of the Devi Bhagavatam. I invite you all at this point, Karavachai, to please stand as we join in our opening arti. Om Sarvamangalamangale Shive Sarvatarsadike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Sacham Chavarati Samyuktam Vahina Yocheta Mayam Deepagrihan Revasya Trilokyatimirapaham Omaya Suno Meri Devi Parvatavasini Tera Paran Paya Tera Paran Paya Suno Meri Devi Parvatavasini Tera Paran Paya Tera Paran Paya Pan Supari Dvacha Nariyal Pan Supari Dvacha Nariyal Le tere beet charaya Le tere beet charaya Mangal ki seva suno mori deva Hath chura tere dhare pare Mangal ki seva suno mori deva चोरा तेरे अंग बिराजे सोहा चोरा तेरे अंग बिराज केसर तिलक लगाया केसर तिलक लगाया मंगल की सेवा सुनो मुरी देवा हाथ चोरा तेरे धारे परे की सेवा सुनो मोरी देवा। ब्रह्मा वीर परे तिरद्वारे, ब्रह्मा वीर परे तिरद्वारे, शंकर ध्यान लगाया, शंकर ध्यान लगाया। मंगल की सेवा सुनो मोरी देवा, हाथ छोड़ा तेरे द्वारे परे, मंगल की सेवा सुनो मोरी देवा। कलियुग द्वापर त्रेता मदे, कलियुग द्वापर त्रेता मदे, कलियुग राज सभाया, कलियुग राज सभाया। मंगल की सेवा सुनो मोरी देवा, हाथ जोड़ तेरे द्वारे परे, मंगल की सेवा सुनो मोरी देवा। My dear friends, devotees and bhaktas, once we wave the sacred lamp of arti and once we surrender to the feet of Bhagavati Mata, she is called Jagat Janani Mata, the universal mother. She is called by many different names and visualized by many different forms. Devi Bhagavatam teaches us that in the age of Kali Yuga, we worship the Divine Mother in the form of Kali Mata to remove all of our problems and hurdles, trials and tribulations. Salutations unto the Divine Mother. Bolo Kali Bhavani Ambe Ma, Bolo Kali Bhavani Ambe Ma, Kali Bhavani, Kali Bhavani Ambe Ma, Bolo Kali Bhavani Ambe, Bolo Kali Bhavani Ambe Ma, Bolo Kali, Bolo Kali Bhavani Ambe Ma, Bolo Devi Bhavani Ambe Ma, Durga Bhavani Ambe Ma, Bolo Durga Bhavani Ambe Ma. धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती, धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती, मोहन भोग लगाया, मोहन भोग लगाया। बोलो देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे, बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो काली, बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ। धन्यो भगत मैं तेरे गुण गावे, धन्यो भगत मैं तेरे गुण गावे, मन वांछित फल पाया, मन वांछित फल पाया। बोलो देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, देवी भवानी, देवी भवानी, देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो काली, बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो देवी भवानी। बोले जगदम्बे माता की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की। You may have respectful seats this evening. Once more again, let me say Shubh Swagatam and welcome to all wonderful bhaktas and devotees joining with us this evening in devotion. Before journeying to our Katha and Pravachan this evening, I invite each and every one of you. Let us all sit upright. Let us join our palms together. Let us close the physical eyes as we surrender to Bhagwan. Hey Prabhu, Hey Sarva Sachitanand, Nirakar Sarveshwara Koti ko barambar namaskar karta ho. O Bhagwan, again we come before you as your humble children, your humble servant to worship you, to glorify you, to listen to your katha, to your glories, to guide us in this age of Kali Yuga. Salutations on today. Om Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om. Devi Ma Shakti Ma Kali Ma Hame Daya Karo. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namo Namah. Om Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namah. Shri Govindaye Namo Namah. Salutations to Lord Ganesh, the one who is the remover of all obstacles, the one who bestows the blessing of success. We pray for success in today's devotion in our everyday lives. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvigaram Kurumedeva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Gachananam Bhutaganari Sevitam Kapita Jambu Parasada Vakshitam Umasutam Shuka Vinashakarakam Namami Viganeshwara Parapankajam. Salutations to Lord Shiva. Nagendrahara Yatrilochanaya Basmangaraya Yamaheshwaraya Nitaya Shodhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Om Namah Shivaya. Salutations to Devi Ma. Om Namostute Mahamaye Sri Pite Sura Pujite Sankachakragara Haste Mahalakshmi Namostute Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sarike Sharanye Triyambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Chama Shivaratri Swaha Swadha Namostute. Salutations to Saraswati Ma. Om Saraswati Namastobhyam Vararika Mata Rupani Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. प्रथमा बीनाओं में श्री गणेश को पूजे सरस्वती माँ। कीजे में दीनवो दीन को जो यह श्रेष्ठ चले। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता ओ मैया। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता। चौथे में दीनवो पांच सभी को ज्ञान तुझे होगा। रामायण की अनुपमा करनी भवसागर पार करे। रामायण की अनुपमा करनी भवसागर पार करे। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता ओ मैया। जय 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 श्री सरस्वती माता। बोले श्री महासरस्वती माता की जय। श्री नव दुर्गा माता की जय। My dear friends, devotees and bhaktas, offering salutations to Devi Ma, preparing our minds to absorb the beautiful katha and the wonderful pravachan this evening. The 88,000 rishis and munis gathering at Maini Sharanya, they are asking of the great and learned sage Saunak Mahamuni to narrate to them the manifestation of Kumari Mata, to narrate to them the greatness of the Kanya Kumari Puja. Many times when we perform our Durga Puja, from time to time, we will see the Kumari Puja being performed. Why do we perform Kanya Kumari Puja? Why do we worship these little girls? What are the blessings and what are the darshan that we gain? This evening, the Rishis and Munis gathered together. Saunak Mahamuni is about to narrate a beautiful katha, and so we join as we listen together with the Rishis and Munis. Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Bolo Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Devi Sri Durga Sharanam Mama. अमरपुरी और सब लोका तो महिमा सबरे का, ज्वाला में है ज्योति तुम्हारे नर नारी पूजे नर नारी श्री दुर्गा शरणम मम श्री दुर्गा शरणम मम श्री दुर्गा शरणम मम बोलो श्री दुर्गा शरणम। Saunak Mahamuni says that once there lived a noble Brahmana, a great disciple of Bhagavati Mata, the divine mother of the universe. His name was Shridaram. Day after day and night after night he would worship this divine mother. He had a beautiful murti of Devi Durga, and so he would worship her. As his eyes opens in the morning, he surrenders to the feet of Devi firstly. Prithvi Devyai Namaha. And immediately he begins to chant, Namo Namo Ambe Sukhakarni, Namo Namo Ambe Dukhaharani, O Ma. May you remove all of my sorrows today, and may you bless me with happiness. And day after day he worships his divine mother. But he was very poor. He had a little kutya, a very little mandir. And so, whatever little he had, he was very contented with it. Katha tells to us what takes place. जो सुर मुनि कतहा पुकारे श्रीधरम बिन शक्ति तुम्हारी शंकाचार्य तब कीनो काम क्रोध जिन सबलीनो श्री दुर्गा शरणम मम श्री दुर्गा शरणम मम श्री दुर्गा शरणम मम देवी श्री दुर्गा शरणम मम मैया श्री दुर्गा शरणम मम अम्बा श्री दुर्गा शरणम। एक बार बोले जगदम्बे माता की। Shriram, my dear friends and devotees, he worships the divine mother day after day and night after night. He had full faith, trust, love and devotion to the feet of Devi. He had a little kutya, a little house, a very little mandir, but he was contented with whatever little he had. He even had little to eat, but he never complained. Not one day he asked the Devi for something. Until Shriram going out into the Nagari, the beautiful village, to gather flowers for his worship. For an Navaratri period was slowly approaching. And while he went to gather these flowers and the auspicious leaves to worship the Divine Mother, he started to invite everyone to join with him in puja for Navaratri. But they all laughed at him. They are saying that you are inviting us to join with you in puja for 9 days. Do you have place for us to sit? You have a little kutia. You hardly have food for you to eat. Do you have food for us? When you invite people to your home, you give them food. But you hardly have food to eat. He smiles. You know why? He has faith in the Divine Mother. Have you ever placed a date for a puja, but you didn't know how things was going to work out? Where you were going to get money to purchase the ingredients for the puja, much as for the prasad or the bhojan. But because of the love that you have for Bhagwan, you want to perform this puja. So you went ahead putting this date for the puja, not knowing how anything is going to work out. This is what Shriram is doing. He wants everybody to see and to listen to the glories of the Devi. but they are laughing at him. As he went to the home of one individual, he looked at him and he called him a murk, a fool. He said, how foolish are you? You have so much faith in the Devi, but yet you are hungry from time to time. You have so much faith in the Devi that you serve her day and night, but yet you live in a little kutia. Why don't the Devi provide for you a big house? Why don't the Devi provide for you bhojan to eat 3 times a day? Instead, you will take your money and purchase things to perform puja instead of buy things for yourself. How stupid are you? We see this sometimes. Where devotees will put God first. Ensure the mandir has coconut oil. Ensure the mandir has ghee to perform their puja. And then what is left, they will buy something to prepare to eat. This is when we have faith and we know that Bhagwan is going to provide for us. My dear friends, he felt hurt. He went home and he went immediately before the murti of Devi Ma. If we were in the situation of Sridharam and someone had told us the same thing, what would we have done? I'm sure we would have gone home and go before the murti just like Sridharam. But what we would have said to the Devi? Have you ever wondered about that? What we would have said to the Devi? Sridharam goes before Devi Ma. But what does he say to Devi? The Katha tells to us this evening. Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Devi Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Sri Durga Sharanam Mama, Devi Sri Durga Sharanam. Sridharam, my dear friends and devotees, he goes before the Devi. He places a head on the feet of the Devi, and tears begin to flow from his eyes. And he says, "Oh Ma, they have called me foolish. They have called me all sorts of names." My dear friends, when you begin to tread the path of devotion, when you begin to serve God, people may call you all sorts of names. Especially if you have changed in life. Sometimes in our lives we make mistakes, and then we decide to change for the better. And we decide to walk the path of dharma, to serve God now. What takes place? Always remember, it is never too late to change in life. It's never too late to embrace the path of bhakti or devotion. It's better to do it now and do not wait for tomorrow. But the question is, when you begin to tread the path of devotion, what takes place in this age of Kali Yuga? In this age of Kali Yuga, when you begin to tread the path of devotion, you are called foolish sometimes, like Sridharam. Isn't that so? When you tell someone, "Bhai, I am fasting today," you say, "How foolish are you? Today is Saturday." When you begin to tread the path of devotion, and you begin to serve God, and you begin to perform your puja and worship, you are called all sorts of names. And the verse said, if something happens to someone, you first to get blamed, because you are the praying one. My dear friends and devotees, Sridharami says to Devi, "Maya, I have been called all sorts of names, but it doesn't affect me. When you are a true bhakta of Bhagwan, you can be called whatever. You can be treated however. it should not affect you. You know why? You know your worth. You know your self-worth. And you know that you are a bhakta of Bhagavan. And you know that you are doing the right thing and serving God. Be like Arjuna. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna stood alone for dharma. Remember that? Everyone was against him. His gurus, his leaders, his cousins, his uncles, everyone were against him. But he stood alone. Dharma rakshite rakshite dharma. Those who protect dharma, dharma will protect you. So be like Arjuna. Tonight, Shriram stands alone. He isn't affected by the words. He isn't affected by the observation of the unworthy. But Shriram, you know what he says? Ma, I've been called many different names. I have been treated. I've been ill. I have been called a fool. But Ma, I know in your eyes, I am your child. Ma, I have never asked for anything. But today I'm going to ask you for one thing. What Shriram is going to ask the mother for? Is Shriram going to ask for a big home? Is Shriram going to ask for wealth? Is Shriram going to ask for food? What does he ask the mother for? Katha tells to us. Prem aur bhakti yash gaave, dukha dharta nahi aave. Jaya tume jo nar nare, janam maran tit chut gaave. Shri Durga sharanam mama, Shri Durga sharanam mama, Shri Durga sharanam mama. Devi Shri Durga sharanam mama, Maya Shri Durga sharanam mama, Amba Shri Durga sharanam. Ek baar bole Chaguaramas Mata ki. He says, Ma, I've never asked you for anything. But today I'm going to ask for one thing. He says, Maya, I want you to prove to everyone how powerful you are. Ma, I want you to show to everyone how powerful and how great you are, Devi. And I want you to allow them to feel devotion in their hearts. When someone has done wrong to you, what should you do? When someone has done wrong to you, what should you do? Be like Shriram. Shriram is praying for them. Shriram is praying for them. He is praying and asking, Ma, may you bless them so that they can see how powerful, how great you are. Ma, may you bless them that they will learn what is right from wrong. Ma, bless them that they will not be blinded by the illusion of this world. You know, just this evening, on my way to Puja, whilst coming out of our street, a gentleman parked in the middle of the road, and Bhagavan didn't know where he went. So we waited, and eventually I had to pop the horn. So then he came. He was coming from a house. And whilst he was coming, he was walking as though no one was waiting. Dheere, dheere. And you know what I noticed? You know why he was walking like that? Because I was wearing a kurta and a mala. And because he wasn't of this religion, he walked very, very slow. I doubt a human could walk that slow. And he had to cross now to go into the vehicle very, very slowly. And maybe take about a couple minutes to start the vehicle. And a couple more to sit and look at me. I'm sure the yellow is looking beautiful. And then I had no choice but to send down the glass. And I said, Bhaiya, Durga Mata, blessings to you. Ram Naam Satya Hai. That was it. This is the world that we live in. We as devotees, when we see people like this foolish, pray for them. Durga Ma, blessings to you. In today's world of Kali Yuga, we will meet with these type of people who will try to lead you out of the dharmic path. But what should we do? We should remain focused and we should pray for them. Like Shriram. Shriram is praying. And while he lies there and he's praying to Devi, and the tears flows from his eyes, you know why? He feels hurt. Why does Shriram feel hurt? Because they call him a fool? No. He felt hurt because of the way they spoke about the Devi. How many of us, when people ill speak our dharma, we feel hurt about it? Well, I am one. And for those who know me, I will defend. I defend my dharma. When someone ill speak your dharma, your religion, whether it's Hinduism, whatever religion you belong to, stand up for your dharma, for your religion. Stand firm in what you believe in, my dear friends. And protect your dharma. Like Shriram. He felt hurt because of the way they spoke about the Devi. And while he's lying there, his eyes gently closed. And a voice begins to speak to him. The voice says, O Putra, O son, the Navratri Vrat is coming. I want you to get the Nariyal pearl, the coconut, the dry coconut. And I want you to worship this coconut for these 9 nights. On the final night, the Naumi Tithi, you perform your worship. And on the 10th day, the Dashami, the Vijaya Dashami, you will burn this coconut. For that is the day of victory. And your devotion will become victorious. Navratri is slowly approaching us after Ganeshotsav and Pitripash. And this is what is recommended for us to do in the age of Kali Yuga. But she says on the Ashtami Tithi, Durga Ashtami, O Putra, I want you to perform Kanya Kumari Puja. I want you to get the Kanyas from the age of 2 to the age of 10. And you are going to worship them. And do not worry about anything, my son. When you worship Bhagavan, you do not have to fear anyone or any situation that life brings before you. Simply place it in the hands of the Devi. Devi Maya do not like to see her children being hurt. And Devi Maya always protects her children and provides for them. I'm sure many of you sit here tonight could attest to that. Shriram felt joy in his heart. He went and he gathered a beautiful coconut and he started to prepare himself to worship Devi. And finally, the Navratri has arrived. And Shriram is about to worship the Divine Mother. How does he worship the Devi? The Katha tells to us this evening. Om Jayatvam Devi Chamunde Jai Bhuta Praharini Jai Sarvagate Devi Kalaratri Namostute Maruketa Vadrava Devi Varadhatri Varade Namam Rupam Dehim Jayam Dehi Dvashodehi Dvashodehi Natatro Namata Nabandhu Nadata Naputro Naputre Navitro Nabrata. With tears in his eyes, he holds the coconut. And he prays, O Ma, may you reside within this coconut. And may you accept my worship, my puja. Om प्रथम शैलपुत्रे च द्वैत्यं ब्रह्मचारिणी द्वैत्यं चन्द्रघण्टे ते कुष्मन्दिता चुष्टुकं चुष्टुकं स्कन्दमाते ते पंचमं चतने च सप्तमं कालरात्रे ते महागौरी अष्टमं. He says, Ma, I am about to worship you in the form of the 9 Devis. Each day in Navratri is dedicated to a different form of the Devi. The coconut is recommended. Why? The coconut itself is a sacrificial offering. The coconut has many fiber, isn't that so? Have you ever tried to burst a dry coconut with the fiber? And when you take the cutlass and you hit the coconut pitch and it reach quite out the road. That ever happened to anyone? And then you see you hitting and hitting the coconut, but it keep bouncing. The fiber represents the trials and the tribulations, the hurdles that we face in life. But when the fiber is now removed, when the fiber is removed, my dear friends and devotees, in the Devi Puja, we meet with what? The hard shell. Isn't that so? So when the trials and tribulations feel as though it's over, a big test comes into your life. And then you say, Bhagwan, I thought all of my problems are over. Now this, it's the hardship. It represents the hardship that we face in life. But when this coconut is offered to the Devi, with the mantras, with the faith and the confidence in Devi, and this coconut is charhawe or cracked, your hardships are no longer. Place your problems in the hands of the Devi. And when the coconut is cracked, you will meet the white jelly and the sweet water. O Devi, as you remove these problems, may you bless me with purity and prosperity. In Durga Puja, the coconut is burned, the entire coconut. And when the coconut is burned and the shell cracks, you get a sweet smell, isn't that so? We all love to smell the coconut when it burns. The purification of the Divine Mother. So he takes the coconut and he prays, Devi, may you reside within this coconut. Beautifully he TKs it with a hardy sendur. He prays neem leaves and beautifully wraps the coconut in the yellow cloth. Sometimes you may see the coconut is wrapped in yellow cloth, and sometimes it's wrapped in a red cloth. But why? Everything that is done for a reason and a purpose. You know, sometimes we go to a puja and we see someone wrapping the coconut in red cloth. We say, my Baba do the puja good night. He always using yellow cloth. I feel red cloth is a real cloth to use. You know, once I went to the puja in Barrackpore, and once we were going to perform the invocation Hawan, I lit a piece of camphor on the ghee. And we were doing the Hawan. And when we finished, an old lady said, Baba, I am 88 years old, and I never see a Pundit like they can't find the ghee. They like to do shortcut. I say, Moy, the camphor on the ghee is simply to melt the ghee. Maybe the ghee was already melted. In life, when we see things, we do not ask a question why it is being done. But we love to jump to conclusion. And we love to follow things that we don't understand why it's being done. The yellow cloth that wraps the coconut, or the yellow jhanda that is placed for Devi, is when you perform a Thanksgiving puja. Like your yearly puja, it's a Thanksgiving puja. Yellow is offered. When you perform Durga Puja and you are praying for something, maybe good health, maybe you're going for a surgery, or whatever the case may be, we offer red. So these are the two colors, main colors that are offered to the Devi. And as he wraps the coconut, he places it before the image of the Devi. And day after day and night after night, he worships this coconut. He lights a beautiful diya and he keeps it lighting there. And he's worshipping the coconut. He offers water every day. He places a chandan, hardi, sindur. He offers the sugandham, the flowers, nibris, pearl, fruits. And he performs his jap. Jap is very important to remove your problems. Shri Ram goes to the village now. And he begins to invite everyone for the Kumari Puja. He is selecting the Kumaris. Why is he selecting the Kumaris? The Katha tells us this evening. Jai Jai Ambe Bhavani Ma. 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 Because according to Devi Bhagavatam, when one is about to perform Kanyakumari Puja, it may sound harsh, but it's what is recommended. The Kumaris must come from a home where the parents are married, not from an unmarried couple. The Kumari must come from a home where the parents are married. The Kumari, my dear friends and devotees, must not have any defect physically, mentally, or otherwise. It may sound harsh. But the Kumari is going to represent whom? Durga Ma. So you select your Kumaris. And once you select them according to Devi Bhagavatam, Shri Ram is selecting the Kumaris. And once he selects them, he invites everyone and they are laughing again at him. Where are you going to get money to do this puja? Where are you going to get food to feed us? But this time Shri Ram doesn't feel hurt. You know what he says? Do not worry. Please come and you will see. You will witness something that you have never witnessed in your life. He himself doesn't know what's going to take place. He himself doesn't know where he's going to get food. But when you have faith in Bhagwan, you can talk like that. When you have faith in Bhagwan, you know that everything is going to be okay, even though you don't know how. And Shri Ram, he returns home very happy. He continues his worship. And once he worships Devi, he begins to glorify her. Jai Jai Ambe Bhavani Ma. 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 Jai Jai Ambe Bhavani. Bole Jagarambe Mata ki. Shri Ram returns home. He doesn't know how, but he's going to do this puja. He begins to prepare. And the 8th Titi finally reaches. It is the Ashtami Titi, it is Durga Ashtami. He begins to prepare for the Devi, for her puja. And whilst he is preparing, during the Navratri, when should we perform the Devi puja? When should our Navratri puja be performed? It is called now, 9, and Ratri, which means night. He waits until the Sandhya hour, and he's waiting anxiously to perform his puja. As the Kumaris enter into the home of Sridharam, he only sees 8 Kumaris. He began to worry. The Devi said 9 Kumaris, but there's 8. What should I do? He waits a little bit more, but there's still 8 Kumaris. The place is filled. But again, he has faith in Devi. He says, Ma, I'm going to start this puja. I am going to begin this puja. And I have faith in you that the 9th Kumari will come. And so Sridharam takes flowers in his hands. He goes before the Kumaris with clasped hands. And he begins to pray to them. Om Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Kanya Kumari Rupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namah. This evening, as Sridharam is worshipping the Kumaris, I invite each and every one of you joining with us here at our Yagyashala and those joining with us on our live streams to sit upright. Let us join our palms together. Let us close the physical eyes, and through Mansik Puja, let us also perform the Devi Puja. Om Katyayanaaya cha vidmahi Kanyakumari cha dhimahi Tando Durge Prachodyatam. मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी Durga Maiya. This evening, visualize the form of Devi. And as you visualize the form of Jagaramma, as Sridharam worships the Devi, we too worship her. मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया. मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया. दुर्गा मैया, देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया. मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया. Sridharam, he takes the water and he washes the feet of the Devi. Om Aim Hrim Krim Dum Durgai Namaha Padyam Samarpayami. In your minds, we too wash the feet of the Devi. He takes a beautiful towel and he dries the feet of the Devi. Om Vasradhanam Samarpayami Oma. Today I am blessed and privileged to worship your lotus side feet. He bows to the feet of Devi Ma. With love and devotion, he places the chandan upon the forehead of the Devi. He takes a beautiful kandhavar, the beautiful shawl, and he places it over the Devi. And he places the mark of the Harti. Likewise, we worship Devi. चंदन चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, चंदन चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया। हरदी चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, हरदी चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया। He takes his sugandham, the perfume, and he offers the perfume to the Devi. And as he makes this oblation, this offering, he takes akshatam, rice grains. We offer rice grains because from grains come gain. From one grain, we can gain a tree. From that tree, how many grains can we get, or how many trees can we get? Prosperity, my dear friends. He ushers the rice upon the head of the Devi. Om Sri Durga Devi Akshatam Samatpayami. And then he takes the beautiful mala and he places it upon the neck of the Devi. Mala chadhavo Devi Maya, Mala chadhavo Devi Maya, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया. He takes the kheer, the sweet rice, and he begins to feed the Kumaris. He says, Ma, just as you have blessed me with food, today I offer back food unto you, Ma, in the form of gratitude. He takes milk and he's quenching the thirst of the Devi. He says, Ma, just as you have provided whatever little to me, I offer gratitude and I give back to you now, O Ma. And as he makes his offering, he takes the dakshana, the beautiful gifts prepared, and he's giving to the Kumaris. And while he's worshipping them, the ninth Kumari comes and she sits there. He begins to smile. He begins to smile. Because now he's about to worship the ninth Kumari. And as he worships her, and he gives her dakshana, he now takes the arati, and he performs arati. And while he waves the sacred arati, O Ma, may this light of divinity remove the darkness in our lives, and may guide us to you, O Devi. May guide us to God realization, to mukti, to self-realization. Om Chamundaye Vichai Namaha. He offers arati to the Devi. आरती चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, आरती चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया. देवी मैया, दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी देवी. सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पारना मैया जी, तेरा पारना. He waved his sacred lamp of arati. सुनो मेरी देवी माँ, may you listen to my prayer. सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया ओ मैया जी, तेरा पारन. With love and devotion. सुन मेरी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा मैया जी, तेरा पारन. He begins to bow to the feet of Devi. जग जननी जय जय, माँ जग जननी जय जय, वैभाविनी भवभामिनी, माँ Janani Jai Jai. He bows to the feet of the Kumaris. But as he reached to the ninth Kumari and he holds her feet and he places it to his head, his eyes gently open. You know why? He could feel the presence of the Devi. Have you ever sit to perform your puja and you could feel the presence of Bhagwan? Have you ever stand at your Jandi stand with your lota and you could feel the energy of the divine? This is when you have faith in Bhagwan. This is when you have confidence, and this is when you all pour your love to the feet of Devi. He feels the presence of Devi. He knows she's present. How many of us who are sitting here tonight know that the Devi is present here? We will say yes, because what Baba will say. Baba will say we have no faith. But the Devi sits here upon the altar in the form of the Chausat Yogini. But more so, the Devi is always present because she's always within you. And we must realize and recognize that. He holds the ninth Kumari's feet. He doesn't know this Kumari, but she's very beautiful. And as he holds her feet, he feels the energy of the Devi. He gently opens his eyes. And as he opens his eyes, Shriram, he looks at the feet of Devi, the Kumari. And as he looks at the feet of the Kumari, he realized that under the feet of this Kumari has Sindur. Under the feet of this ninth mystical Kumari has Sindur. Under whose feet has Sindur? Anybody knows? Have you ever looked at a Murti of Durga Ma? Have you ever seen under the feet of Durga Mata, the artist will always paint it red? Why? Wherever the Devi walks, you will see the Sindur as a mark of her presence. According to Devi Bhagwan. He sees the mark of the Sindur and he knows this is the Devi. He knows that this is the Divine Mother. He holds the feet of the Devi and tears begin to flow from his eyes. The Katha is teaching us that God will come in our homes, and sometimes you may not even know that. Because God will come in your home as an ordinary person. You will not see Durga Mata with 8 arms sitting on a lion and coming, She will come just like you. And she will sit and she will test you. But only those who have faith in the Devi will realize and recognize when the Devi is here. How many of us know if the Devi is sitting amongst us? She may be here physically, but she is here spiritually. When you invite the presence of the Devi, she comes. He holds the feet of this Kumari and tears begin to flow from his eyes. And he begins to sing. What does he sing? He says, Ma, you come to me and you come in the form, in the rupa of this Kanya. Rupa Kanya ka apna banaya, Mano bhakto ko dhar sharikaya. He says, Ma, you come before me in the rupa of the Kanya to give darshan. And you feel I will not recognize you, Ma, but I will always recognize you wherever and whenever you come, O Devi. And he squeezes the feet of the Devi. Rupa Kanya ka apna banaya, Mano bhakto ko dhar sharikaya. Rupa Kanya ka apna banaya, Mano bhakto ko dhar sharikaya. This evening, my dear friends, we now learn in the Katha, we now hear that the Devi has come. I just ask you, we are not sure if the Devi may be sitting here, but I'm sure of one thing. If the Devi is sitting here tonight amongst all of us, in the form of a Kumari maybe, she will be disappointed. You know why? Everybody clapping. You think Devi will be happy? And we sing in Jai Bhagwan. Devi is energy. And so today we worship that Divine Mother with energy, with love and with devotion. Ek baar bole Jagaramba Mata ki. Rupa Kanya ka apna banaya, mano bhakto ko darshan dikaya. Rupa Kanya ka apna banaya, mano bhakto ko darshan dikaya. सिर पर चुनरी है लाल लाल बिंदिया का माँ, सिर पर चुनरी है लाल लाल बिंदिया का माँ, लाल हाथों को मेहंदी रचाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन दिखाया, और रूपा कन्या का अपना बनाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन दिखाया। नहीं काजल सजे पब पायल बजे, नहीं काजल सजे पब पायल बजे, चूड़ियों की रखना बनाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन दिखाया, रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन दिखाया। गलमाला सजे कनभाला सजे, गलमाला सजे कनभाला सजे, नाना तक शोभा बनाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन दिखाया, रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन दिखाया। बड़ा सुख पाया हो बड़ा सुख पाया, माता रानी के भवन में, जय जय माँ जगदम्बे माँ, देवी माँ जगदम्बे माँ, जय जय माँ जगदम्बे माँ, देवी माँ जगदम्बे। और रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन दिखाया, रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन दिखाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन दिखाया, मानो भक्तों को दर्शन। एक बार बोलो जगदम्बे माता की। Devi Maya sits there and Shri Ram, he clasped his hands to the feet of the Devi. And while he glorifies the Ma, you are so beautifully bedecked with the mala, with the kajal, with the beautiful red chandan. She holds Shri Ram and she says, child, it is time to complete your vrat. In Sanatan Dharma, how do we complete our vrat and our puja? Anybody knows? By distributing and sharing. After bhajan is, after bhajan is bhojan. If you have no bhojan, it have bhajan. Jai Bhagwan. She says to Shri Ram, it's time to complete your vrat and it's time to distribute bhog, food. She holds a pot in her hand and she tells to Sri Ram, go to each and every one of your guests and ask them what they would like to eat and I will give it to you. So powerful is this Devi. Imagine you go in a puja and anything you want to eat, you will get. You think you eating chana and aloo? Nahi. Sri Ram goes to each and every. And the Devi materializes the food and he's giving to them. But whenever Devi Puja is done and whenever the Devi is worshipped, there's one individual who sits to the back. One individual who sits at the very entrance. Whom is that? Anybody knows? Kala Bhairu. Our Katha would have taught us that. He sits there. And while he sits there, Sri Ram approaches him. And he asks, Bhog lagave. And he began to ask all sorts of adharmic things. And the Devi becomes angry. You know why? You must always respect someone's residence. You must always respect someone else's place when you visit. How many of us, when we visit someone's home, we have respect for their home? We must always have respect. And so the Devi, she stands there. He stands up and he says, do you know who I am? I am Bhairavnath. And the Devi stands there and she doesn't acknowledge it. You know why? He speaks with abhiman, with ego, with pride. He speaks with pride. You know, sometimes there are devotees who will say, you know who I am? I am the biggest Devi worshipper. Don't come around me, I will deal with you. The Devi are coming even close to you. First the biggest. According to the book. Wherever there is abhiman and ego, the Devi is nowhere. If you are a true devotee of the Devi, you will be humble. You will never boast, well, what a great devotee you are. For the Devi will not even come. He looks at the Kanya and he says, who are you? You little child. You are performing jadoo, magic here. What are you trying to prove? The Devi leaves and she goes. But Bhairavnath wants to know, who is this Kumari? Who is this little child? He begins to follow her. And why he begins to follow her, my dear friends? Sri Ram is running behind. The Devi goes into the forest. And while she's going into the forest, Sri Ram is calling her. He's calling her. My dear friends and devotees, Sri Ram has puja, worship. He has done everything in the best way possible. And someone who has come to visit or to attend the puja has upset the Devi that she leaves. This is why when we have certain pujas, Baba will tell you, ensure that those that you invite understand the puja that you are going to do, especially a Grah puja. Have you ever heard that? A Grah puja is a personal puja. A Grah puja is done amongst your family members immediately. Why? A Graha puja, every Graha puja is done differently. There are 9 Grahas, and in 9 Graha puja is done differently, according to which Graha you have. And sometimes people may attend your puja and they say, but I never see prayers like that in my life. The devatas become angry. Not because they have attitude, but it comes as though you're insulting your puja. Likewise, when people call me, Baba, I want to do now Durga Puja, I always tell them, you understand what is a Durga Puja first to begin? Well, Baba, the last Baba used to do a Durga Puja and put up 9 Jandi. I said, well, that is just a Durga Puja. And now Durga Puja is different. And now Durga Puja, you have to perform the Bedi Puja first. It takes at least 3 to 4 hours. And then you have to perform the individual puja to the Now Durga. 9 Kalsa is placed and a 10th one for Kalberu. And we will learn that tonight why. An individual puja is done. The Jaipal is offered, the Nimbu is offered, the Akshatam, all the different Deepams, everything is offered. And why is these in the coconuts are offered? It's a bit different. Everybody has their way in doing it. But that's the proper way according to Devi Bhagavad, the description that you get. And why is that puja is done? I always tell people, ensure that you don't invite a big crowd. But 90% of the time when you go, it is a huge crowd. They say, Jai Bhagwan. They say, Baba, well, these people never see this puja. I want to show them how it is. That's why you're doing it for the wrong purpose. Now Durga Puja takes time. And when you invite people, sometimes they say, what happened like that, Baba, can I do prayers? He's practicing. It takes time. It takes effort. Many sacrifices go into the preparation. And likewise, we must take our time to perform that Devi Puja. Devi Bhagavad says Durga Puja has no shortcut. There's only one way in doing puja. In fact, no puja have no shortcut. There's only one way to do puja. And that is the proper way. So when we do our Now Durga Puja, we must understand this is why we come in Katha. For in Navratri, we have our 9 nights yajna will become ensign. And during that period, we'll understand this puja. So when you see it being performed, you will not be frightened and say, we look at coconut and never see so much coconut. And say all sorts of things. We hear foolish things sometimes. My dear friends and devotees, when the Now Durga Puja is done, it is done with love and devotion to the individual forms of the Devi. Many times when people see the Now Durga Puja done, we say that is a Kali Puja. Say, me going close there now, and people doing Kali Puja. Kali Puja is different again. But what a foolish statement, isn't that so? I pause for 1 minute to make a point. What a foolish statement. Many times you hear people say, Baba, I will never worship Kali Mata, you know, but I love to do my Durga Puja. I just make a nice lapse and suhari. I prepare my 9 pairs, you know, Baba. Nice in the thari for Devi. Beautiful. And I just look at them and laugh. And when they finish talking, what I tell them, you should offer 8. They say, Baba, I always hear 9. Why 8? I say because the 7th pair of lapse and suhari is for Kali Mata. But if you don't pray to Kali Mata, then offer 8. So we must refrain from making such statements, my dear friends. Kali Mata is Durga Mata and Durga Mata is Kali Mata. The same Devi. The same Devi. Just like you have one mother, she's called Jagajanni Ma. Just like your biological mother, when you are low in cash, who do you go to? You don't go by your father because he never haven't. But as you go by your mother, she said, go under the mattress, you go see that 20 chuk. Take it from there. Isn't that so? She takes the form of Lakshmi Mata. When you were in primary school and you didn't understand what to do, who you went to? You go by your father and you say, I don't have time, go by your mother. And she sat down there, she didn't even understand what was taking place. But she tried. She took the form of Saraswati Ma. And when you are sick, when you get sick, who's the first person you're looking for? Ma. Isn't that so? And she will come with the famous mixture with the bay rum and the coconut oil and the lime and nutmeg and rub you down. And by the next morning, you're good to go. Even when someone is lying to die, they call Ma. In your old age, you're looking for Ma still. And when someone hurt your feelings, the same mother does do what? She says, let me go and look for them, I'll deal with them. she takes the fierce form of Kali Mata, the destructive form. One mother, you see? How many forms? Jagat Janani Mata, Durga, many different forms. One Devi. Shri Ram is running, oh Ma, where are you? And while he's going, he calls to her. Durge, Durge, Durge Jai Jai Ma. Durge, Durge, Durge. That's how Oya is called mother. When Oya home, I just hear people from home call him Ma. Hard-hearted. Tonight we're going to call Durga. And she have to come through, I think it's teak, right? Is that piece of teak it is? She have to come through. So you have to make sure she could hear all the way out by Buru Singh Junction. So she could find the way and coming, right? Durge, 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 Jai Jai. Bolo. Durge, 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 Jai Jai Ma. Durge, 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 Jai Jai Ma. Jodarini Ma, Jag Jodarini Ma, Palika Palini Ma, Palika Palini Ma, Jaya 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 Durge Ma, Jaya 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 Durge Ma. Durge, 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 Jai Jai Ma. Shri Ram calls out to Durga Ma. Oh Devi, where are you? And he sees a cave. And as he looks at that beautiful cave, he sees a wonderful aura. And while he's looking at the aura, he's saying to himself that the Devi is there. Remember one night in Katha, we spoke about the aura. But as he reaches to the cave, he sees Bhairavnath waiting. But at the entrance of the cave sits an old man. And he sits there very quietly. Who is this old man? Shri Ram calls, Ma, oh Durga, where are you? He calls out to that Devi. And once he calls to the Devi, the light in that cave begins to get brighter. And he calls out to her, tears is flowing from her eyes. Oh Ma, please come. Let me complete my puja. Oh Ma, please forgive me. Please forgive me, oh Ma. Durge Jai Jai Ma. Durge, Durge, Durge Jai Jai Ma. Durge, Durge, Durge Jai Jai Ma. Hey Ma. Night and day I pray for thy blessings every day. Shri Rami praise Ma. Night and day I've been praying for your blessings, O Ma. Today you have come and I will not allow anyone to take my blessing from you. Ma, please come. Please come. Ye Ma. Night and day I pray for thy blessings every day. Hey Ma. Night and day I pray for thy blessings every day. And while he calls, oh Ma, please come, the man that sits at the entrance, he opens his eyes. And he looks at Shri Ram and he says, you are looking for the Devi? And Bhairavnath says, Did you see a little girl? And the old man is laughing. He says, which little girl you are talking about? He says, the one who went inside of this cave. He says, inside this cave resides Vaishnavi Mata, Durga Bhavani Ma. And he begins to laugh. And Bhairav, he looks at the old man, he says, who are you? Remember last night's question? Who am I? We all are a part of divinity, a spark of divinity of Bhagwan. We all are the children of God. We all are here to serve God, to attain God at the end of this cycle of life. We all are an instrument of Bhagwan to help each other on the journey that is called life. Not to put down each other, not to fight each other, but to help each other, my dear friends, on the journey that is called life. Who am I? I am a child of God. Who am I? Shivoham, Shivoham. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. And so, he says, who are you? And the old man sits there. He kneels down. He grabs his hand to the side, and he holds the mukdar. And as he holds the mukdar, he says, who are you? And this old man takes the root and the form. His true form. Who is this man? His tail begins to grow. His mouth begins to swell. The hair in his body begins to grow. His cheeks are seen to be red. And he's wearing red clothes. He holds the muktar in his hand. And he wears the paruka, the sapat on his foot. Who is this man? He is Hanumanji. He is the protector of the Devi. He holds the mukta in his hand and he says, May Hanuman. I am Hanuman. But who are you? He says, I am Bhairav. And Hanuman looks at him and he smiles. Hanumanji, he calls. As he stands there, Shridaram bows to the feet of Hanumanji. And you know what he says? How blessed I am. I am here to see the Devi, and today I am blessed when I am seeing Hanumanji. How blessed am I? I am really blessed. And so he bows to the feet of Hanumanji. We clasp hands together. What takes place? The Kadhata as well. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa Karo Gurudeva Kinai. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa Karo Gurudeva Ki. Gurudeva Kinai, Gurudeva Kinai. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa. Pavan Putra Hanuman Ki. Pavan Putra Hanuman Ki. Hanumanji will cast hands, he stands there. And the Devi comes out of the cave. And as she comes out of the cave, Hanumanji will cast hands, he gazes upon the beauty of the Devi. But she comes out of the lion and she stands there with the sword in her hand. You know why? Bhairav stands there with Abhiman and ego. The sword that the Devi holds in her hand is to discipline her children and disciples. To cut the ignorance, the lust, the Mahamaya, the calm crowd. As she holds his sword, and what she does, the Devi begins to dance. Jai Devi Mahakali Re, Jai Devi Mahakali Re, Jai Devi Mahakali Re, Jai Devi Mahakali Re. Adi Shakti Ma Jagake Janani, Ranchandi Mahakali Re, Jai Devi Mahakali Re, Jai Devi Mahakali Re. The Devi stands there and she takes his sword and she hits it on the foot of Bhairav. Bhairav falls to the feet of the Devi. And he now recognizes the power of this Devi. How great, how powerful she is. Never underestimate the power of the Devis and the Devatas. They are very powerful. Never underestimate the power of God. God is very powerful. And as Bhairav falls to the feet of the Devi, he begins to pray, Ma. Oh Maya, may please forgive me. Bhairav has made a mistake. Like each and every one of us, we may make mistakes in life. But we must learn from the Devi to forgive. And so, he prays, Ma, please forgive me. But Devi Maya, she says, you are forgiven. But every action, there is a reaction. And every decision, there are consequences. And you must pay for what you have done. She says, Oh Bhairav, your puja will never be done upon the Bedi. Kal Bhairav puja is done as a sadharan puja upon a fig leaf or suhari leaf. This is according to the Devi Bhagavad. Today we see big organizations performing Bhairav puja upon 3-step Bedi. But reading from Devi Bhagavad, right now. But blindly following the Mahamaya of this world. Why? Because the Bedi will look pretty and will attract more people, Dachna. And the fig leaf might be too low, they mightn't see good. But the right thing is the right thing, and the wrong thing will always be. Your puja could be how big? Do it the right way. There's a purpose for that. She says you will now be a Kul Devta, a Gram Devta, a village Devta. So your puja will be done upon the fig leaf. Sadharan puja. Your puja will be done on the days in which my puja is performed. Today we see Dhi Baba Bhairav puja being done on Saturday and things. Because Baba book up Friday and Monday. What days do we perform Devi puja? A Monday or a Friday? Bhairav Baba puja is done on a Monday or a Friday. She says to Bhairav, my puja will never be completed until you get an offering. When we perform Devi puja, we prepare 10 pairs of lapsi and suhari. Isn't that so? And Baba will take one and put it in a pani from one side. And he will offer 9 on the Bedi for the 9 major manifested forms of the Devi. Shail Putri, Brahmachari, Chandraganta, Kushmanda, Skanda Mata, Kal Ratri, now Sri Ratri Gauri Mata. And the 10th pair of lapsi and suhari is offered by the Jhandi stand. Before you offer the Jhanda, a kapoor camphor is placed upon the suhari. And Baba will tell you to hold this bait and pray to Kal Bhairav Baba for the protection of your property and your family, your possessions. Rim Badukaya Ap Dwar Naya Kurukur Badukaya Hrim Om Namah Shivaya. He's the 8th form of Lord Shiva. We learned that on Monday night. It is offered there, and then the Devi Dhar is offered, and then the Jhanda is placed. When this is done according to Devi Maya, then her puja is completed. Only then. Once someone told me that the lapsi and suhari that is offered by the Jhandi is offered to Dharti Mata. I said, Bait, it is offered upon Dharti Mata. He said, my Baba is an old Baba and you're a young boy. I said, well, okay. Ask Baba which page and which book it come from, and I could tell you. Wisdom doesn't come with age. Always remember that. It is offered to Kal Bhairav Baba. This is why when we perform in now Durga Puja, 9 Kalsa is placed, and the 10th one is not for Dharti, it is for Kal Bhairav Baba. And so, my dear friends and devotees, Kal Bhairava stands on one side of the Devi. She sits on the lion. Hanumanji is on the other end, and Shridaram is at the feet of the Devi. Have you ever seen, and you could remember a long time, you will see a picture with Durga Mata sitting on the lion, And you will see Hanumanji up here. In this corner, I think so. And on the next corner, you will see, well, everybody thought that was Mother Kali. Even I thought so when I was small. But Kal Bhairav Baba is seen there. I'm sure you'd have seen this picture somewhere. This is where this picture comes from, this katha, the Vaishnavi katha. The Devi takes the form of Vaishnavi Maya. Durga Ma, she sits on the lion. Hanumanji is there as a protector. And Kala Bhairav Baba. Shri Ram is at the feet. You will always see in the picture, you see a man doing puja. Shri Ram is at the feet of the Devi. He hears the Devi says that a puja isn't complete until Kal Bhairav Baba is worshipped. So the same man that Shri Ram was running down, he begins to worship him now. And he begins to pray. With clasped hands, we pray. Om Chausat Yogani Bhavan Se Vir Bahastar Se Bhairav Ring Shing Durga Kavach Devtaye Namo Nama Rim Batukaya Apadhvaranaya Kuru Kuru Batukaya Hrim Om Namah Shiva. He takes a coconut in his hand, Shri Ram. And as he offers the coconut, he offers arti. And while he offers the arti, the Devi places Shri Ram on a lap and returns to his home to complete his puja. And while they all return there, he begins to praise Kal Bhairav to complete his vrata. Om Namaha Shivaya. Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bhairav Baba. Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bhairav Baba. Bhairav Baba Bhairav Baba Bhairav Baba. Bhairav Baba Bhairav Baba Bhairav Baba. Namah Shivaya Prabhu Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bhairav Baba. Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bhairav Baba. He Sukahari, He Dukahari, He Bhairav Baba. He Sukahari, He Dukahari, He Bhairav Baba. Namah Shivaya Prabhu Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bhairav Baba. Namah Shivaya Shantaya Bhairav Baba. परमेश्वर उमा महेश्वर बोला बाबा. हे परमेश्वर उमा महेश्वर बोला बाबा. नमः शिवाय प्रभु नमः शिवाय शांताय बम भैरो बाबा. नमः शिवाय शांताय बम भैरो बाबा. भैरो बाबा बम भैरो बाबा बम भैरो बाबा. भैरो बाबा बम भैरो बाबा बम भैरो बाबा. नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय शांताय बम भैरो बाबा. This evening, my dear friends and devotees, as Shri Ram performs worship and he offers arti, he bows to the feet of his respected devis and devatas. All of the villagers and all his friends and family joining together who had doubt in the faith of the Devi, who didn't have faith in that Divine Mother, seeing the greatness of that Divine Mother, the beautiful Kutia transformed into a beautiful Mahal. And so, Shri Ram now sees the glory of the Devi, the blessings of that Divine Mother. Everyone gathering there who never had faith in the Devi now have faith in that Divine Mother. It is never too late to embrace the part of bhakti devotion. Many times say, Baba, I don't old. I go live my life. Die for the young children. My dear friends, do not wait for tomorrow. Begin now. To embrace the power of bhakti. To begin to serve God. Nobody says offer dhar every day, light diya every day. No. Nobody has said do a whole puja every day. But begin to do the right things. Every day tell someone something to inspire them, to help them. When you see someone in trouble, help them. When you see someone in distress, motivate them, inspire them, and help each other on the journey of life. And when we do such, my dear devotees, we are truly serving God. We are truly serving our dharma. And so, everyone there begin to glorify the Divine Mother. Ek baar bole Chaguaramas Mata ki. Jagadam Jagadam Jagadamba Devi, देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी. Jagadam Jagadam Jagadamba Devi, देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी. अरे देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी. जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी. अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा. एक बार बोले Chaguaramas Mata ki. This evening Katha has taught us the greatness of the Divine Mother. We must have faith in Devi. And even what seems impossible to us becomes possible under the blessing of the Divine Mother. So my dear devotees and bhaktas, I do hope and pray that this evening's Katha has taught you a very valuable lesson for life about faith. Shri Ram concludes his vrat now with taking the coconut, and he's about to burn it in his havan. Shri Ram, my dear friends and devotees, he had placed chandan every day, hardi and sindoor. Every day as he placed the chandan, it had how many chandan now at the end? 9. 9 is a very auspicious number to the Devi. Very, very auspicious. Like the Devi, she's always around. She's always with us. He placed 9 chandan, 9 hardi. Isn't that so? 9 add 9 is how much? Not 21. 18. 8 and 1 is? 8 and 1 is? He placed 9 sindoor. 18 add 9 is how much? 27. 2 and 7 is? And we could go whole night like this. Every time you add 9 and you add the digits that you get, you will end up with a single number, that is 9. She is universal. And 9 is an auspicious number to the Divine Mother. Bole Chaguaramas Mata ki. As he places the coconut, he holds the coconut in his hand with love and with devotion. And so this evening, he completes his Purnamahuti. Kravachai, let us all stand as we too complete our vrata to the medium of puja and worship. Om Purnamidha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevava Shishyate Jayanti Mangalakari काली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा दात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। ओम सर्वं वै पूर्णगुं शांति स्वाहा। We offer Achman. ओम सर्व पापहरं देव्यं गंगेयं निर्मलं जलम् आचमन्यं मया रतं गृहाणं परमेश्वर। We found the fire. वनस्पतिरसुराभूतो यो गन्युगन्युत्तमः अग्रहाण सर्वदेवानं धूपोऽयं व्रति गृहीतम्। सरस्वती blessing. ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गोदेवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। बोले अग्नि देवता की जय। जगदम्बा माता की, जगदम्बा माता की, जगदम्बा माता की। ओ मैया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल, पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल ले तेरे बीच चराया, ले तेरे बीच चराया। सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। सुहाचोर तेरे अंग विराजे, सुहाचोर तेरे अंग विराजे। केसरी तिलक लगाया, केसरी तिलक लगाया। मंगल की सेवा सुनो मुरी देवा हाथ जुड़ तेरे द्वारे परे। मंगल की सेवा जगदम्बा माता की। महावीर परे तेरे द्वारे, ओ ब्रह्मावीर परे तेरे द्वारे। शंकर ध्यान लगाया, शंकर ध्यान लगाया। मंगल की सेवा सुनो मुरी देवा हाथ जुड़ तेरे द्वारे परे। मंगल की सेवा सुनो मुरी देवा। ओम चामुंडाय विजय नमः, ओम धूम दुर्गाय नमः। कलियुग द्वापर त्रेता मदे, कलियुग द्वापर त्रेता मदे। कलियुग राज सभाया, कलियुग राज सभाय। बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, भवानी देवी माँ, काली भवानी अम्बे माँ। धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती, ओ धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती। मोहन भोग लगाया, मोहन भोग लगाया। मंगल की सेवा सुनो मुरी देवा हाथ जुड़ तेरे द्वारे परे। मंगल की सेवा सुनो मुरी देवा। भगत मैं तेरे गुण गावे, धन्यो भगत मैं तेरे गुण गावे, मन वांछित फल पाया, मन वांछित फल पाया। बोलो मंगल की सेवा सुनो मोरी देवा, हाथ जोड़ तेरे द्वारे परे, मंगल की सेवा सुनो। बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो दुर्गा भवानी, बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो दुर्गा भवानी अम्बे, बोलो दुर्गा भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो दुर्गा, ओ बोलो दुर्गा भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो देवी भवानी, देवी भवानी, देवी भवानी, देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो दुर्गा भवानी अम्बे, बोलो दुर्गा भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो दुर्गा, ओ बोलो दुर्गा भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो शक्ति भवानी अम्बे माँ, काली भवानी, काली भवानी, काली भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो देवी भवानी अम्बे। कलियुग द्वापर त्रेता मदे, कलियुग द्वापर त्रेता मदे, कलियुग राज सवाया, कलियुग राज सवाया, बोलो देवी भवानी अम्बे, देवी भवानी, देवी भवानी, देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो दुर्गा भवानी अम्बे माँ, दुर्गा भवानी, दुर्गा भवानी, दुर्गा भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो दुर्गा भवानी अम्बे, बोलो देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ, बोलो देवी भवानी अम्बे माँ। जग जननी जय जय, माँ जग जननी जय जय, है भाविनी भवभामिनी, भामिनी जय जय। माँ, may you listen to our prayer with love, our devotion. सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारना मैया जी, तेरा पारना, पान सुपारी माँ ध्वजा नारियल को ले तेरे भीत चराया, पान सुपारी माँ ध्वजा नारियल को ले तेरे भीत चराया। सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन मैया जी, तेरा माँ, I surrender to you night and day. He माँ, night and day I pray for thy blessings every day. He माँ, night and day I pray for thy blessings every day. Om mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktahinam jararanam yat pujitam maya deva paripurnam tadasrame kahena vacha मनसिन्द्रेवा पूर्यात्मना वा प्रकृतिं सुभौतं करोमि यज्ञ सकलं परस्मै नारायणायते समर्पयामि. Together with love and devotion. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु त्वमेव वेद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं त्वमेव सर्वं. हरि ओम शांति शांति शांति. Hari Om. With hands clasped together, turn to the person next to you as you say Sitaram. Shakabarak Hore Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. Shakabarak Hore Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. This evening, my dear friends and devotees, as we say Sitaram, we bow to the divinity within each and every one of us. This evening, we take the opportunity to say a special thank you to the members of our group joining with us this evening. To our Srotas, to the hosts, we say Bhagwan, Devi Mata blessings to you. To Bhai Kishan Ji, and of course all those who have joined with us via our live stream this evening, Devi Ma blessings to you. To all you wonderful bhaktas and devotees who have joined from near and far, in devotion this evening, may Devi Ma richly bless each and every one of you, and may she continue to guide you on the path of Sanatan Dharma. Shakabaraka Hore Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. एक बार बोले गजानन स्वामी की, उमापति महादेव की, आज शक्ति दुर्गा माता की, पवन पुछ हनुमान की, भैरव बाबा की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय सीताराम. You may have your respectful seats, my dear friends and devotees. Aarti Prasad Panchamrit will come your way. Meals are prepared for each and every one of you to, of course, take to your respective homes. This evening, my dear friends and devotees, I extend an invitation once more again to join with us tomorrow evening for another beautiful evening of Katha, Hanuman Katha, worship to Hanumanji as we conclude our 7 nights of Katha and devotion. Jai Sitaram.